In 48 BC, Julius Caesar ordered his men to set fire to an enemy fleet in Alexandria's harbor, but the winds shifted. Those flames jumped from the burning wooden ships to the stone docks, racing toward the nearby waterfront warehouses. And those warehouses happened to be packed with thousands of completely dry, highly flammable papyrus scrolls. Within hours, centuries of recorded human thought, poetry, and mathematical genius were reduced to gray ash falling over the Mediterranean. It forces a terrifying question. What specific, irreplaceable breakthroughs were permanently erased from human history on that single night? History tells a different story. Caesar's fire only burned a temporary storage facility on the docks. The Great Library itself, sitting safely inland, survived the blaze completely intact. The library succumbed to a much slower, man-made decline that took centuries to unfold. To figure out how humanity actually lost its greatest collection of knowledge, we have to look past the smoke of 48 BC and examine what happens when a society simply stops caring. The city of Alexandria was founded with a specific ambition: to forcefully unite global cultures by physically hoarding every single book in existence. To pull this off, the Egyptian state funded an aggressive acquisition program. Royal agents heavily monitored the harbor, boarding every arriving merchant ship and searching the cargo holds specifically for texts. When they found a book, state scribes copied it word for word, but they kept the precious original in the library's vaults, handing a cheap, freshly made copy back to the original owner. The Great Library functioned as a relentless, heavily funded government engine built to actively monopolize global information. Because they concentrated so much raw data in one place, the library became the world's first true research university. The state literally paid brilliant scholars a salary exclusively to live there, read, and invent. Working inside those walls, Euclid defined the mathematical laws of geometry that we still teach in schools today. This geometric diagram shows how Eratosthenes looked at shadows falling at different angles in different cities to calculate the Earth's circumference. Aristarchus mathed out the solar system, proving Earth actually orbits the Sun centuries before Copernicus. Hero even engineered a working steam engine nearly 2 millennia before the Industrial Revolution. Concentrating protected, state-funded intelligence in one location results in a sustained period of rapid discovery that alters the path of human development. This map lays out the vast urban grid of ancient Alexandria. Over time, the intellectual culture fractured as violent religious riots consumed the city. That conflict peaked in 391 AD with the deliberate destruction of the Serapeum, a temple housing the backup collection. But the fatal blow was purely financial. Imperial funding eventually dried up completely. Without money to support them, the scholars packed up and abandoned the crumbling marble halls. Without human care and climate control, the vast collection was left entirely vulnerable. Stuck in dark, humid rooms, incredibly fragile papyrus scrolls quietly decomposed. Knowledge dies through systemic apathy and the slow, deliberate withdrawal of societal support. By the time the desert sands finally buried the ruins of the city, only tiny, scattered fragments of the library's immense genius remained. This rotting paper highlights a broader truth. Every single method humans use to record information, whether it's carved stone or stretched leather or pressed reeds, is inherently delicate. Brilliant ideas do not survive on their own. They are trapped on vulnerable materials that demand constant, active preservation. Today, it's easy to assume we've permanently solved this problem. We think our data is perfectly safe, but our current infrastructure is just as fragile as dry papyrus. Hard drives crash, servers fail, and digital formats can become completely obsolete in a matter of just a few decades. There are efforts to fight this decay. In 2002, the new Bibliotheca Alexandrina opened its doors, standing as a massive modern monument to that original mission. Simply putting information on a server or inside a grand concrete building doesn't save it. Preserving human progress requires continuous funding and active care, or we risk losing our digital era to the exact same silent decay.